And here we are.
Alright, so Odin's Call have bought double Leshak, Balgon, double Magus, double Vexer, double Deacon, and a Skybreaker.
Yeah, it looks like Long Gigi choosing to bring double Widow, Claymore, Scimitar, Blackbird, double Moa, Griffin, Claw. Now we saw, I think Long Gigi brought this Widow comp yesterday actually, and didn't do very well because they were Torp Widows, all damage, no tank, and they just got melted by conveniently the Shack comp. So this looks like a very similar setup.
Yeah, it's almost a mirror match of last time. And they are torpedoes once again, as you see. We zoomed in. If you see the 3 missiles, it is a torp, as opposed to a cruise missile, which is just one large girthy missile.
I'm not a fan of this. It didn't work very well last time. The control was good, but as soon as those jams stopped landing, one of those widows just got eviscerated so quickly, and then the damage just dropped off. They couldn't break the deacons because the widows were getting guidance disrupted, I think, so they just couldn't apply to the deacons, and that was pretty much it. Like, they couldn't kill the deacons and they couldn't break the Leshaks under deacon reps, and then when the jam missed, widows just started dying, and it was a clean sweep. So not a fan here of this. Maybe they're trying, they're like, hey, we'll just try bring this comp, because Odin's have to bring a good comp right now. So if Odin's win this, then potentially one of their best comps is banned out for the next match, and Long GG can bring out what they actually wanted to bring this time. So they might be playing it slightly safe, happy to take it to the best of 3. This could work, this comp, but if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world for them, and it does ban out Odin of this Leshak comp.
Yeah, those widows are going to be are able to kind of reset spawns in the Leshaks. They're going to have to coordinate really well, because if one of the widows bans jams one of the Leshaks, then they're going to have to swap their jams around once the Leshaks start spawning up on them. So it's going to be very interesting to see how well coordinated their E-War team is, especially with the Griffin too.
Yeah, the only difference this time is Odin's Call bringing Vexers instead of Arbitrators, which they brought last time. So the Guidance Disruptors, which kind of, I think, really made the Widows unable to apply, maybe not present this time. So I guess there's more of a chance for Long GG and his friends to just plow through Odin's Call with these top Widows, but that remains to be seen. Personally, I'm not optimistic for Long GG here, but I'm willing to be proven wrong. 20 seconds and the match is underway. Countdown has begun.
They do have a really girthy attack bar there, though.
Yeah, that's the thing about those Torp Widows. They just have very, very large DPS numbers, but if you can't apply it because you're being disrupted, or you're trying to shoot a Deacon, for example, none of that DPS will actually being applied. But let's see what happens as the match is underway, and let's see who moves first. Both teams launching drones. The blue team, so Long GG, choosing to burn away from those Leshaks, which is pretty good. You don't want to get near them. Meanwhile, Odin's choosing to barrel in with a Moa to try and get tackle on something as fast as possible.
Yeah, a little bit of a swap on that. The Moa is actually Long GG barreling in onto 2 Leshaks and a Balgorn, which is maybe questionable. I guess we'll see. It depends on how the jams work. The Balgorn is clearly not jammed right now. I think they actually have both Leshaks jammed out, because I'm not seeing. Well, no, maybe one of them is. But yeah, that Moa that charged in is probably having some serious cap issues, as I'm seeing a lot of newts sitting directly on it right now. But they are not really applying any damage quite yet. I am starting to see both Leshaks have started shooting at the Moa of Anarisen, so I don't think he's going to live very long. However, so Rainbow was basically made it so that Long GG could not bring any Frigate Logi, which is actually good in this case, because it means they have the range on the Scimitar to potentially keep this Moa alive. As I say that, he is dropping quite quickly, and
he's gone. Just got chunked there.
Yep.
Yeah. So that Griffin got a little bit of damage for a while, but he's tanking. The Leshak of Yokan is taking a bunch of damage from those Torp Widows, but it looks like the Deacons right now have it fairly under control. It depends if a couple of lucky jams land on those Deacons. It could the high DPS coming from those Torp Widows could just plow through it. And as an aside, I just noticed that on my overview, the ships in space that are red are the blue team, and the ships in space that are blue are the red team on Fancy, so on the UI, which is very interesting.
Yeah, that's a classic. That's just classic AT stuff. It looks like they are actually switching on to Pony Loki and the Widow with both Leshaks are starting to spool up on him now. So, and yeah, you're right. They were able to catch Jokin's Leshak pretty well. There's a huge swarm of Reptrones on him. So, unless Long GG is planning on like actually ramming a Widow in there and trying to smart bomb them off, I don't think they have much chance. And the Widow that got close, like Pony Loki got pretty close to him, but now he's hard tackled by a Balgorn and the Leshaks. So we'll see what happens. Actually seen some pretty good usage of the Skybreaker by Tim. He just cleared a bunch of Reptrones off of the Widow of Pony. So
yeah, I feel
cool
like
shit. I love seeing that.
I feel like you're right in the fact that I mean, it's exactly the thing happened the other day, and they just couldn't break this. So they need to do something different. If they just keep shooting the same ships, then nothing very much different is going to happen. They need to remove those ret bots. There's an absolutely massive cloud of them just hovering around that Leshak. They're moving now to the Vexor of Hodar to try and keep him alive, as the Deacons may be getting jammed because he is dropping, and I don't see much reps landing. Moving those Vexors probably will be a good idea for the Widows, because I imagine that's where the guidance disruption is fit to the Vexors, and that could be really impacting the Widow's ability to apply. But as I say that, one of the Widows, Pony Loki, just took a huge chunk. This is what happened the other day. They started getting chunked and then just vanished.
Yeah, they did have one of the Leshaks jammed out the entire time, so we were just seeing a single Leshak. But now, since both Leshaks are no longer jammed and they're spooled up, we're kind of getting that repeat. So unless they can get some lucky jams off and maybe unspool both of these Leshaks before the next like 3 seconds where they're hitting him extremely hard, I don't think they're gonna be able to live. And there he goes.
There he goes. Yeah. So I mean, look at the size of the control bar on the Rainbow Wolves there. That is a lot of control. That is all those newts, the webs, the guidance disruptors, just really making it almost impossible for Long GG and the team to apply any of the theoretical torp damage. Like, torp damage is so big. But I mean, I say that though, and they're applying that torp damage fairly well to Melinda 1, so I imagine there's some jams landed on the Deacons for a while and allowed them to start bursting him down. But he is repping now.
Yeah, the red bots are coming over now too, so he's going to start to go up. I think if they maybe went on him like from the beginning, if they made that swap while Pony was still alive, maybe they could have taken down that Balgon.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it's a good move to try and do it, especially when you spread jams around, because if you swap around, those of the rep bot with the rep bots out can't move those rep bots onto the new target if they're jammed. So the rep bots are stuck in the wrong position. So it can be really powerful. But I think we spoke about this yesterday with this team. They needed to do more target switching and really force the Deacons to move around, force the rep bots to move around and try and break the pilots rather than the ships, because they just don't have the DPS to force their way through two Deacons with all those rep bots lying around as well. And the second Widow is just in low shield. As soon as he goes through that shield, though, he will be gone pretty quickly. The Scimitar's doing his best to keep him alive, but it's just so much DPS from two spilled Leshaks. And I'm pretty sure it's a gun Balgorn as well from last time.
Yeah, the Balgon's also going to make it hard for him to run his hardness all the time as well.
Yeah, it does look like it's it was a gun Balgorn last time. It looks like it's a full
new
Balgorn.
Yeah, it looks like a full new one this time.
Kind of hard to tell because it's on fire right now. But
yeah, I don't see much guns though. I don't see any guns actually on it.
Yeah, the Griffin's actually being soloed off in the corner too, which is always funny to see. He's got a bunch of Acolyte 1s taking him down over there. So
I guess the Magus just cleaned him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rainbow Wolves basically have this matching control. Look how big their control bar is. Like, they are fully in a good position right now. They just need to not screw up. Second Widow is down. There's now almost no DPS really left on Long GG's team. There's a Claymore and a Moa and kind of maybe 2 Claws worth of DPS. And I mean, you ain't breaking Deacon reps with what you've got there. So it's just 3 minutes 56 seconds of cleanup now for Rainbow Wolves.
I will say it was really incredible Logi piloting on the Rainbow Wolves side. Like, 2 Deacons versus 2 Widows, a Blackbird and a Griffin is, there's some serious skills, serious prayers to the RNG gods that you had to do there just to keep everybody up. I mean, they caught the Balgorn in what? I think he was down to about 30% armor. One of the Leshaks was down pretty low for a bit there, and they were just able to kind of keep it going, which always impressive. We didn't see any of the remote sensor boostering there. Maybe the Vexors have some. I need to take a look at that real quick, but I think the Vexors are actually tracking Disruptor Fit. So, that just I don't know, really good Logity piloting. We did see almost this exact same match yesterday with pretty much the exact same result, which makes me wonder, like, is the game plan here that Long GG needed to do was to ban Leshaks? Because I feel like the Leshak is kind of the thing that makes this comp work.
Yeah, because the Leshaks, Balgorns, Vexers, Deacons, Magus, Skybreaker, all now banned for the next match. So perhaps, I mean, it's a strange play. It's not necessarily a daft play. I suppose you can make it work if you really think that your number one comp that you'd want to bring is 50-50 against this comp, and you think they're going to bring this comp, so you bring some trash tier Torp Widow comp, so they ban out what you think might be their best comp, and then you bring your best comp and hope that whatever they've got left is not as good as this one, and you can win comfortably. Like, that could be one strategy. It is risky because you do put them back into the, it's winner takes all next match.
Yeah, which makes me wonder here. So because of the way this has gone, both sides have the capability of running the ubiquitous shield rush, and I'm wondering if this is going to come down to a shield rush versus a shield rush, which personally is not what I would want my final match to come down to, but it would also make it, like, I mean, that's pretty good, exciting way to do it. It's like, oh, here we go, guys.
Shield rush versus shield rush comes down to execution and target selection. So then it could be, I mean, you can have a mirror matchup rush comps, and it could go one way or the other pretty easily, just purely depending on which target you decide to primary first and how you react to that, which is always interesting to see, especially mirror matchups. Like, we like them as casters because it's almost down to the execution of the individual pilots at that point rather than just pure theory crafting. Moa still alive, not for very much longer, and then a Claw. The Balgorn of Melinda just casually slow boating away from everybody else, though, towards the edge of the arena. Not really sure why. Don't think he's going to make it to the edge before the time runs out. But he is heading up that way at the moment, just perhaps for a scenic screenshot out there at the edge in the Casper zone. One Claw left, just doing his best not to die. Just prolong this match for no real apparent reason.
Yeah, Melinda's. He is sitting on top of an MJD beacon, so I think he's actually trying to line up.
I think he's going to try and jump onto that Claw. Yeah, he's going to miss.
Yeah, he is. It's pretty close. I think the Claw is going to slightly get away. Let's see.
Claw's on a beacon as well. I don't know why
he didn't miss. Though. Like, he was aiming very, very well. It's just the Claw goes 6 times faster than he does. Exactly. So I feel like you get some credit there. It was a good MJD, but you're chasing a Claw that's going at
in a Balgorn
4K. Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets newts on him.
He got newts on him. Okay.
Yeah.
They might be in peak fall off
though. Yeah.
Yeah, they will be. And even if he shuts off his micro warp drive for a cycle, which it doesn't look like has happened, he can just coast out and turn it back on again. Although he has kind of forced it up towards the Vexer, and now he's turning back around again. This Claw just does not want to die, and he's done it. He's survived. That is the end of the match. So Gain, Boast, Star personally wins. The rest of his team unfortunately lose. And Rainbow Wolves take the series to 1-1, and yeah, wow, exciting. Also, Long GG can't. Please don't bring your Torp Widow comp again. Doesn't work.